Hi, this is the record of a 6-day, 5-night trip that we've just completed, leaving Gillingham in Kent and gone all the way over to France and then back again. So this is the start to plan using Navionics, looking at how we went down the Medway and then across the north coast of Kent, zigzagging in between the sandbars. Then this is us just coming around North Foreland. I'm zooming in just to show you what the marina looks like. This is using another app called Savvy Navi, so it's a bit more of a 3D image that they can create. It was an excellent app to have on the phone as well, so we run two of them, as well as the boat navigation as well as paper navigation, so we have kind of belt and braces. This gives you a good visual on all the buoys and stuff that we have to navigate. Although we were in the yacht itself that we were sailing on, Victoria Francis, only needs 1.1 metre of water, so we can cross over, we can avoid main shipping lanes and stuff. That's us coming around North Foreland. You can see that because we left, we couldn't leave until 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's almost 9 o'clock at night, so 12 hours later, that's us just rounding North Foreland. We'd been beaten to windward and light winds, and we had to punch the tide. That was based on the fact that we couldn't leave early. Again, this is a visual on us just coming in, so this was probably about 9:30 at night. It was dark, and then we come in through the entrance. We have to radio to get permission from port control, and you see there on channel 14 we have to request port control. Because it was late at night, the marina was closed for us, so we just went in and found a berth and then reported into the marina office next morning. This is what it looks like at night. This is once we were ashore. I then kind of went up onto one of the pier heads and took some video of it. You can see that that's a boat actually leaving into the breakwater of the outer harbour. And you can see the port and starboard hand marks that were visible on the chart. You might have to rewind if you want to have a look at that. I'll zoom off into the distance, and you'll see that you can see the buoy channel. We didn't come all the way down the buoy channel because obviously we have a shallower draft, so we can cut the corner. I've got an image here just showing what that buoy channel looks like, and that's what the lights were showing. So here you can see the lights on the buoy channel. You can see the cardinal mark. You get a long flash in a second. It's a continuous flash with one long one, and then you can see the port and starboard hand marks. Again, if you consult your chart, it will tell you what the sound signal is for them. So this is the harbour in the morning. So you can see Ramsgate's a lovely little town, really worth visiting, lots of nice pubs and restaurants and stuff. Obviously we captured it with a beautiful sunset. This is one of the old lighthouses actually. It's on one of the inner breakwaters. And this is me messing around with the colour on it. We had to fill in, you go online now, one of the government websites, and you have to tell them that you're about to cross the channel, and you have to fill in boat details, passport numbers, etc. So we did that, ready for the passage across. This is what it looked like using Savvy Navi. So we followed the buoy channel this time. The tide for us started to flood, so it was heading kind of in a north direction. So we decided we were going to go the north side of the Goodwin Sands, that's just outside, or a few miles offshore outside the harbour. So that's what we're doing there. We planned to go up and north of that, and it was only because the tide was taking us that way. And then once we got clear of that, we then set a course, and that's just changing direction. It got in through, and we went through between, there's a traffic separation schemes in the middle of the channel there. We actually missed them all and come down through the middle of them. And then we changed course again just there where we were bending round. That was because of these shallow bits that are at the entrance to Calais. And then we made an approach. Again, we have to radio, I've not put in the information, but we have to radio port control Calais to get permission to go in. Once inside, we go down the right hand side. Once you go kind of into the port itself, just here, there was some mooring buoys, and this was because the bridge and to do with depths, you can only get through at certain times, and for us it was 9 o'clock at night, so we had a couple of hours waiting outside before we come in, and then we moored up just outside the marina there. Now, by pure chance, Craig, who runs Born to Sail, so if you're looking for lessons, Craig in the middle there runs Born to Sail. He happened to be in Calais the same night. Brendan was the guy on the right hand side whose yacht is, and here are a couple of pictures of Calais itself. Day 3, this was us, Calais, BOULOGNE Sur Mer. Sorry if there's any French speakers and I'm making a mess of pronouncing that. But we had to go down round Cap Grisnaz. Again, probably pronounced that really badly. This is us under sail. You can see the windows behind us, so the sails set on a run. There's Brendan making coffee. Now there's only 2 of us on board, so you can see that the boat has got an autopilot on it and is self-steering, so it gives us a bit of a break. We did hand steer quite a bit, but on this leg we were kind of having a bit of time off, so I think we were getting used to the yacht because this was its first big trip really. As we approach the entrance to the harbour, there's an outer breakwater. Yet again we asked permission to enter from port control, who it was not particularly busy when we went in, and then all the way down just in front of there's a weir there that we were going to pick up the marina. And again, we had phoned the marina ahead of time to say that we were arriving, just to make sure they had space for us. This image is just showing us about 2 miles out, and then this is the marina itself, and you can see our little boat sitting there, Maria Francis, and Craig's school boat is there as well. Now when we were here, we met a guy called Ben who was heading off to the Caribbean, so he'd been stuck in the port for a few days, and then he joined us for dinner, so the whole group of us went out for dinner. Day 3, so this is us going from BOULOGNE Sur Mer back to Dover, and we have to cross the TSS, or the Traffic Separation Scheme. So that was all part of our planning for that day. So once we got up, I think we looked at the tides, and the tide turned in our favour about 9:30, but we decided we were going to get up and go at 8:30. Craig and his crew had already left. Ben had left as well. He was heading off down towards the Azores, I think that was his plan. This is us leaving the harbour. We just requested clearance by port control, and they're up there somewhere. There's me getting the big head in the way. Just to show you, and there's a traffic light up there somewhere where they switch it from red to green to tell us we could go. And then once we went through the port and starboard hand posts, you can see there's shallow water on our starboard side, so we were staying just out the way of that. We went up near the harbour wall, so that's the outer breakwater that you're seeing there. And again, this is on Savvy Navy, which is a great visual just to run through with your crews and stuff, what the plan is for the day. Then we cut across, and you can see there's a lot of sunk wrecks and stuff there, but there was plenty of deep water for us. And then once clear of the harbour, Savvy Navy works out where you can tack because it knows the weather. This is looking at navionics, and then you can see the traffic separation scheme in pink. To cross that, we had to ask permission from Channel 11, Channel VTS, who were very polite when we requested that we could go through, and then we ship dodged a couple of times. We had to zigzag to get around the back of the ships as they come across. This is us just entering Dover. Now, you'll see in a second, actually, there's a catamaran there. I'm not getting any sponsorship for this. It's called Echo, and it's supposedly a ferry. We met some guys who had been on it, and they'd done the same crossing as us from BOULOGNE Sur Mer. That's it there. Echo, and you pay, I don't know, 70 or 80 pounds or something for your crossing. To go in the harbour, we have to request Dover Port Control, Channel 74, can we enter? And we got clearance to just go straight ahead. And then once inside, we dropped our sails. We then had to ask Channel 74 again if we could enter the harbour. The reason for that is there's a bit of a narrow dogleg that you have to go in. This is all quite new, actually. It's the marina is completely different from the last time we were in a couple of years ago, and this is us going around the breakwater there, so this bit's quite narrow. That's why you have to ask permission. Once we were there, we'd already phoned ahead, but Channel 80 speak to the marina, and then they gave us a berth. And actually, I think I've almost put the spot right where we were going in. And then we met a guy, Michael. So he's a Belgian hand cyclist. He's got a couple of world records. So we met him there on the seafront, and we got on really well. So we invited him to come along with us. So he joined us for this next leg. So day 4 for us was then Dover to Ramsgate. So again, we have to ask permission to get out the marina, Channel 74. That's us zigzagging around the breakwater. And then you have to follow the inside of the wall. So this time we'd come in on the west gate, and this time we were leaving by the east. This is where all the channel ferries go from Dover, so we have to cut through the same gate as them. Luckily we timed it just nicely. And then we follow underneath Dame Vera Lynn's White Cliffs of Dover. That's us underneath them. At this point we had wind behind us, tide behind us, very light wind, so the sea was flat, but we were still doing 4 knots, and we decided we're not going to get straight into Ramsgate, we're going to go beyond Ramsgate. That's us passing Ramsgate at the time, and we're going to head for a place called Broadstairs. Very beautiful. This was not quite our course, but Savvy Navy plotted that for us. We cut the corner a little bit because we knew we had plenty of water, and just where that spot is, that's where we anchored, just off the beach. Michael almost went swimming. He was tempted, but it was going to be a problem getting him back on board because we've not got a ladder at the moment. And this is what it looks like, another satellite image again from Savvy Navy. And you can see that, again, you'll see there's some little tiny boats on the inside there. This is what it looks like. So this is us anchored down within 5 meters of water. You just seen your anchor ball was up. So within 5 meters of water, and we put out 30 meters of chain, and then we just kind of kept an eye on it because we had that, again, big stone pier there that we didn't want to run up onto. Once we'd had lunch and we were there for kind of a couple of hours, we lifted the anchor, and then this is us heading back towards Ramsgate. It was very light winds. It had been kind of pretty still all day. That was one of the reasons that we chose not to do a very big distance on this day, and it was only 12 miles between Dover and Ramsgate. This is us planning now. I was going in through the outer breakwater. Again, you have to radio port control, ask for permission to go in, and again, there was nothing really moving about at that time. And you'll see different angles of it, or different views of this in a second. That's us going in by the lighthouse that's in there, and we never went quite that close. That's what it looks like on Navionics. So again, we consult kind of all the data. If you've got an almanac on board and stuff, we'll have a look at that. If anybody's been in, we look at Rate My Harbour. So there's lots of sources of information. That's us within inside the outer breakwater. You see the post there. We've seen this view at night. There's Michael steering, and he brought the boat in this day. And yeah, lovely weather. Again, this is Savvy Navi's view. So again, we had plotted the course on multiple bits of software. That was us looking left as we come in. That's looking back down towards Dover, the White Cliffs. And then this is where there's a restaurant up here that we go to, and where port control is. But you can see we had a beautiful day for that. It was very still. What we did was, once we were tied up and we had sorted out the marina, we went and sat on the breakwater, took a few beers as Brendan taking some photographs, just taking in kind of the surrounding. It was very beautiful, and if you've not been, I'd definitely recommend visiting Ramsgate. It was a really lovely, very friendly place. And then we sat out there till the sun went down. So in the evening, we went and visited the Brasserie restaurant. The food was excellent. The views are phenomenal, actually, because on the one side you're facing into the harbour, which is pretty, and on the other side you face out to sea. And it's a busy harbour, actually, so there's fishing boats coming and going, trip boats, there's all sorts of things going on. So we found the staff great, actually, as well. The food was really excellent. This outer breakwater as well, loads of guys fishing off it, and they all kind of had a chat as we went by. Mikhail was on his hand cycle, so it kind of gets a bit of attention, and he's very fast on it. Like he can cover 80 miles in a day, so you can imagine it's quite a technical bit of kit that he's got. We had to disassemble it when we were sailing on the yacht, and Mikhail stayed with us this night as well. This is just enjoying bits of the city. Give you an idea of the type of thing that we have to do for planning. This is something called waypoints. So this was looking at all the waypoints that we wanted. The next bit was a little bit technical because we've got to get in and out of sandbars that you'll see in a second. And this is us on our final day. So that's us leaving Ramsgate and then taking the boat back to Brendan's Sailing Club. So again, that's us inside the harbour. We've got to get out through the two breakwaters. And then we decide when we're going to go north. This is me just editing the course, because when we had come down, I'd put my course quite wide. I decided that actually, and you can see Navionics very easy to edit. I kind of just hover my finger over the waypoints, move them into a better location, which is more accurate to the course that we were going to do. And you can see that I took quite a wide route around North Foreland. And then that's me just editing it so that I come in a bit closer. As I come around the Kent coast, just off Margate and Margate Sands, I'm coming in between Margate and Margate Sands. So I'm just double checking my depths here to make sure that I've not inadvertently put some in a shallow bit. We only draw 1.1, and by the time we went round here, actually, you'll see some of the bits would be too shallow for us at certain states of tide. But actually, we were coming round here where the tide fell in, and we had plenty of water. So I didn't have to zigzag round these parts that I've put in as 1 metre. That bit there is just because I had identified a bolt hole in case we had got kind of stronger weather, and obviously the night before it's a lot more accurate than the 7-day forecast, so I could take my bolt hole back out of there. But that was what we had looked at if we had to go and hide somewhere in case the weather had picked up. And then that's the approach coming into the River Medway, in through the entrance, and then the waypoints go all the way up the Medway, following the Boyd Channel, and then into the club. This is Savvy Navi's version of it. You can see it's got like satellite images on it. It's great, actually. I was really impressed by it. It plots because it knows again what the weather and what the tides is doing, so it'll tell you what to do. This is us leaving the harbour, so this was an early start. We were up at 5:30 when we were on we were ready to depart about 5:45. Mikhail we left behind, so Mikhail filmed for us and very kindly
I'll send you the video.
So in case it never made sense, the video shows you this bit here. So that was us just leaving in between the inner breakwater and the outer breakwater. We entered that Boyd Channel and then we headed north up by North Foreland and the lighthouse, and there's the lighthouse just there. So I'll give you an idea. And we were quite accurate to the course we had plotted. We sort of almost travelled right down the line. You can see that there's no wind whatsoever on this day, so we never even bothered putting sails up to a bit later once we were around the corner here. Savvy Navi plotted us quite wide. Actually, we wanted to go along the coast a bit more. This is what it looks like when the boat's just cruising along it. This is about 3 knots we're doing. We're punching the tide at this stage. The channel tide is still, it's ebbing at this point, but the actual Thames is flooding at a different time. It's really weird. So once we get round North Foreland, we pick up a flood tide, and we had left early knowing that we'd have to punch the tide up this bit of the coastline, and then once we got around the corner we got our lift along here. You can see this is 2 o'clock now. We're doing almost 7 knots just into the Medway Harbour. We've got the wind behind us and the tide behind us at this point. We've only got the main up with 2 in fact I think we've shaken the reefs out at this point. And then we followed up Boyd Channel all the way up the Medway. We're almost finished now, almost home. There's sea gas just in front of us. We were really lucky with an hour after high water. But there was plenty, well, I'm saying plenty, there was about 15 centimetres or something extra underneath our keel, and we just went straight in, tied up, and that was our trip over. I hope you enjoyed following our progress, and hopefully I'll do something similar on the next one. Okay, thank you.